Welcome to Quarter Protection Briefs. This is the first video about assessing capacity. Deciding whether someone has capacity to make a decision is not just the subject of quarter protection rulings. It happens every day in care settings around the country. The way it's assessed is governed by the Mental Capacity Act, sections 2 and 3. This basic principle is so key even for a basic outline like this that I'm going to break it into two videos in line with how it's dealt with in the Mental Capacity Act. We'll start with the area governed by the second section. Before assessing someone's capacity, you need to rule out your own prejudices. Their age or appearance are irrelevant. You can't decide because someone's very, very old or looks like they might lack capacity that they do lack capacity. This woman, for example, Florence Pannell, is 108.
What's the biggest change of all you've seen?
The biggest change? Everything. Nothing is the same. Everything is changed.
And nor can you decide that just because someone has a condition of some sort or they behave in a certain way or a way you might consider unusual, it doesn't mean they can't make their own decisions. Within living memory, that was how many people made up their minds about people lacking capacity. They were old, or they were odd, or they were doing something that made people feel uncomfortable. So how is it judged? Someone lacks capacity if they are unable to make a decision for themselves, and that inability to make a decision is because of an impairment of or a disturbance in the functioning of the mind or brain. Putting it another way, there has to be a disorder, something wrong with their brain or thinking that means they can't make a decision. And it's confusing because by cannot make a decision, that means legally. They might make a choice, but that choice is not one recognised as the decision of someone having capacity. That lack of capacity might be permanent or it might be temporary. Capacity might come and go, it might fluctuate. And there may be obvious reasons for that fluctuation, or there may not. And whether or not someone lacks capacity is decided on the standard legal test for non-criminal cases, the balance of probabilities, which means that it's more likely than not, more than 50% likely. So a ruling that means other people can make a whole range of fundamental decisions about your life can be made on a razor-thin margin. Another element about whether or not someone lacks capacity is that it can only legally apply to people over 16. Children are safeguarded using other criteria. That's it for this first video on assessing capacity. Subscribe or look out for the next video looking at the rest of the assessment, the part covered by Section 3 of the Mental Capacity Act. Coming soon from Quarter Protection Briefs.